I wonder, how many of y'all have ever been in a situation where you're trying to fix something that was broken, something that you are for sure that you knew what was wrong with it. And then you went to the store and got the parts and got the tools and got everything needed, got back home, got it all disassembled, put it all back together, to come to find out it wasn't the thing that fixed it. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. You know, there was a time in the day that I used to do a lot of repairs and do a lot of fixes. I still do that all day, but it come into a situation where I was trying to fix it and it didn't get fixed, where I thought I knew what was wrong with it, and then I realized I did all the work and it didn't fix it. I'd get very irritated. I'd get like upset. I would actually, in reality, turn into a very, very big rage mode where I would just throw a hissy fit, be mad at the world, mad at everybody, mad at everything. But something in me today, not just today, but this past year, that I've come to realize is a big difference with things that happen like that to me. When I do everything that I know that I need to do to get the fix fixed, because I know what's wrong with it, and I know exactly what's going on with it. But for some reason, let's just say that it wasn't the only thing that was needing to be fixed. There's still more. So now I look at it completely different on the aspect of having a good understanding of knowing that maybe that one part didn't get totally fixed the entire issue, but at least now I don't have that to worry about. And at least now I know that's good to go. So when it comes down to, like, say, working on a vehicle, or working on a fence, or working on a barn, or working on anything like that that's like materialistic, not a human or an animal or anything, but if you're working on something materialistic, you come to realize every part that you fix, now you never have to worry, not never, but now you don't have to worry about it for a very long time. Now at least you could have ease of mind knowing that's good to go. I don't have to mess with that for a while. And I know that that couldn't be the problem later on with what it is that I've just fixed. Where it's a very good, interesting concept with that, because now that I know that that's not wrong, now I can move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing of knowing that, depending on the situation, where most of my stuff, I like to hold on to a really, really long time. I don't like to just get rid of it. I like to keep it and use it and utilize it for just as long as I possibly can, until it's just like, it doesn't fit my needs anymore, that I need to finally upgrade to get something that's going to be able to service me. So for me, every single time that I replace something, every single time that I change something, every single time that I fix something, I'm never looking at it in a way of like, oh, this sucks, because I know that I'm going to have to fix that down the line anyways. So now, since I fixed it, since it's had a whole lot of miles or a whole lot of work or a whole lot of issues, now I don't have to worry about it. And something with me just really lets me know a concept of that I feel like we have as a human species, as messing with everything that we have, even with our own personal selves, when it comes to our emotions and our feelings and what it is that we do on a day-to-day basis, that I feel like we spend a lot of time trying to, like, say, fix something that's wrong with us, fix things that we just feel like we don't like about ourselves, and especially like trying to fix other people. Well, I'm going to say that's something that you need to get away from that if that's something that you're still trying to do, is to fix other people. You can't fix other people. You can only fix yourself. You can only fix yourself to the point of getting other people to look at you and say, hey, that's kind of interesting. I kind of like that. And then for them to say that they want to fix themselves, you can't do that for them. The more that you try to do that for them, the more frustrated you're going to get, and the more you're going to end up in absolute failure. But we have things that we work on with ourselves, where we try to fix ourselves, and we come to realize we did all the work. We made it all happen. Like, say, for instance, you're trying to lose weight, or trying to gain weight like me. You're trying to lose weight. You run into a situation where you're going to the gym, you're eating the right foods, you're doing the right stuff, you've got the new habits, you're doing everything right, but you find out it's still just not working. It's still not going anywhere. But at least now you know. Yeah, that'll be all right. That's your cows. But at least now you know some things that you're building up a new habit to be able to make sure that you have, hey, May, we're good. I'm good. If I'm good, we good. You are not defending, protecting, nothing out here. We don't need that, girlfriend. But I come to realize that not doing all that didn't really fix what the main core issue was going on with you. That maybe you got something else going on with you that you haven't really addressed yet, but at least you're on the right steps to starting to get to being able to figure out what it is that's going on, and not just not doing anything. Because I feel like a lot of people just don't do anything. They just leave it. They don't even care. They just accept it. They just say it just is what it is. It's just too challenging. I'm just not going to be able to get through it. I'm not going to be able to get past it. And it's like, that's a very, very horrible mindset to take into. And also at the same time, that's a horrible mindset to take into of trying to take steps and try to do stuff to be able to get things changed, and try to be able to do some stuff to be able to upgrade your life, to realize it's not really going the way that you want it to go, to just quit, just to give up, just to throw a hissy fit because it just didn't work out for you. And that's something that I feel like, May, let's get down. Well, you go run around, go do something. I can't hold you while you acting all scared and nervous. Get down. You're out there just throwing it, and then just have a feeling inside of you that you're just going to quit because it's just not going the way that you say that you want it to go. It's not going the way that you really were intending for it to be. Or at the same time, it's not being as fast as you want it to be. And I feel like a lot of us run into that situation where we just don't see it happening as fast as we want it to, and we just say give up on it. And sometimes I feel like, you know, this is just me today, just thinking about all my vehicles, where today specifically I was working on one of my vehicles and trying to change some stuff up because I'm just not happy with it. When it's not perfect, I kind of try to keep on working on it till it gets to that point. But I think I come to a realization today that I don't know what it is. I think I got some voodoo hex or some demon pull or something serious going on with me with all my vehicles since I think I've ever had in my entire life. They always have a problem. They always have an issue. They always have something going on where it's just not running smooth and it's not running right. That I'm still trying to figure that out. But for me, it's kind of an interesting challenge. It's just something to keep on working on and never give up on, and constantly making sure that I guess I'm keeping up with my mechanic skills to keep on knowing that I can still keep doing some stuff. That today I took the whole thing apart to be able to just get to one little part that costs like very minimal money, but you got to take the whole thing apart. You got to take the whole thing apart to be able to really get, so training tip, dog training right here. When your dog is scared, when your dog is nervous, when your dog is worried, do not hold them, do not pet them, do not coddle them, do not give them any attention, do not give them any energy, because every time that you do, it just makes them be more scared and more scared, because when we touch them, that's telling them good, good, good. You don't want to convince and keep your dog thinking that it's good for them to be scared. You don't want them to be scared. You want them to hear a loud noise like that, maybe let off a bark, say, ooh, what was that? But then no, you just gotta bounce back and get back to that. But if you're constantly holding them like, oh baby, oh you're so scared, oh it's okay, they stay in that state and they never get out of it. And then they rely on you to continue to stay in that state. And that state is a state that starts to make that dog, make that dog think that it needs to always be with you. It can't do anything on its own. And it just has this sense of, I can't live, I can't breathe, I can't be. And that's when you start to really build an excessive, dangerous level of separation anxiety with your animal. Because at that moment, they feel like they can't survive if you're not holding them, touching them, petting them. Because every time they hear a loud noise, every time they see something run past the front yard, in the windows, every time anything's not in the right place that it needs to be, the dog will revert to, please hold me, please hold me. And then it constantly needs that. And it's a horrible thing for a dog to ever want to learn, ever want to be about. And that's something that obviously has taken me through experience to figure out, but obviously having a good understanding of knowing the psychology and the thinking behind what it is about dogs and how they function and how they work. And I noticed that a lot of us do that. When our dogs are, one, barking like crazy, scared, barking like crazy, frightened from like thunder or lightning, we just hold them. We just gather them, just put them all onto us. And you'll notice that day by day and every single time that keeps happening, you're gonna keep on running into that same situation where the dog just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, to the point now you're talking about, I need to medicate my dog to be able to do something, and now I need to figure out, I don't know, the next steps outside of what y'all do as far as medicating them, other than just allowing them to go savage crazy, putting them in a crate, and they're always constantly breaking out and causing havoc and chewing up your whole house and chewing up your couch and your shoes and your bed and you even and your other dogs and just going crazy. Leave them alone. If they're scared, just you go be scared over there. That's something to be able to make sure that they are secure and satisfied and a whole well-being animal. Something that you do not do with children, but you definitely do with your dogs, because dogs do not function and work like children do. But back to working on some stuff and realizing that, trying to figure out how to be able to make sure that we're constantly working on things and not just giving up on it. Make sure that we're constantly doing what we need to do to make sure that just because that one fix that you spent all that time on, all that energy on, you even spent a whole lot of money on in reality at the same time. Not even just the money, but your time and your everything, your whole day even, to realize that it didn't completely fix the whole issue. But I'll tell you something. You did fix at least something. You fixed something and you've got a new foundation, you've got a new start to be able to know that you got something to be able to build off from now. You got something that now you've eliminated a few things to be able to realize what isn't going to be, to be able to move on to something different. Now, if you're in a situation where you feel like you are handing your issues off to somebody else to try to do all the fixes and they should fix it for you, I'm going to tell you, you're headed to an absolute disaster, because no one can help fix you do what it is that you need to do. It's only something that you can do and only something that you can make happen by yourself. And with that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for today, for another great, interesting, inspirational, just life lesson day of realizing and learning some things about myself and things about just stuff that goes on around here, around my day-to-day life, and something that I just have a good understanding of, making sure that I'm constantly building, I'm constantly growing, constantly moving, constantly doing something instead of just staying stagnant and standing still. Because sometimes I feel like when I do stuff and it just doesn't come out the way that I want it to be, I kind of just sometimes feel like it was a waste of time. But then I have to take a step back and realize, I'm just be thankful for being able to have the opportunity to be able to make anything happen, to be able to make what my ideas come to, and I'll try to put my what's a good word with that? Trying to put my my complicated situations that happen to me in my life, start to actually just work on it, instead of just like letting it be in the background, letting it just go, but actually like doing something about it to try to make myself get better, and get better with maybe something that I already knew a little bit about, but at least now I have more skills with being able to make sure that I'm constantly learning and keeping forward with doing what it is that I need to do. And sometimes just not fixing the fix right away doesn't mean that I didn't fix the fix. I did learn something, and I learned a lot along the way with everything that I'm doing. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be in a position to be able to make sure that I'm constantly doing what it is that I need to do to keep on upgrading my life, instead of just, like I said, just staying nowhere, doing nothing, just sitting around and not really getting stuff done, sitting around and watching an extra video, sitting around and listening to a book that, yeah, listen to a book could be good, but sometimes I need to do some things instead of just researching some more, that I need to actually put that research into action. And I appreciate being able to put in that action, and also at the same time realizing that that action sometimes just doesn't give me what I want. And I got to realize it's okay. It's not the end of the world. And at the same time, it's a start. It's a start of being able to make sure that I'm constantly keeping working at something and not just giving up on it. Because sometimes when things don't work, we just quit. And I'm glad to be in a position where I just don't quit. I'm like, oh, dang, that didn't work. Well, now what's next? Let's go on to the next thing, and let's start working on this to make it happen. And today is such an interesting day to be able to work with my animals today, that if I don't have one that's kind of going crazy anymore now with me, it's kind of like I kind of miss that. And I almost might think I need to foster another dog to be able to just watch and take care of and just keep doing that on a day-to-day basis in reality. I might have to figure something out about that, because I don't know, I just kind of get bored at the house sometimes not working on animals, because once mine get to a point that I'm pretty satisfied with, it's kind of like I don't really have much more to do with them. I'm not going to do tricks with all these dogs. I'm just teaching them how to be really nice, really calm, really relaxed dogs. And my Oreo, I can't work him too much with running the animals, because then the animals get stressed, and then I don't need that at the same time. So I'm just thankful to be able to know that I do have a very interesting situation out here with how my animals are, my dogs are. Yeah, and even that, well, my cows are the same way. That I'm just super happy with how everything is. And I hope that y'all can really have a good understanding of knowing that just because everything that you were working on didn't seem like it worked out in that moment, know that it was something that was leading you to be able to get somewhere, that you're on the right path when you're constantly working, when you're constantly trying to get things done, when you're constantly trying to fix some stuff. Just if it didn't get fixed right away, I'm telling you, you headed to that path of making sure that it is getting fixed. I just want to say thank you. All right, guys. Let's go. Gotta go store.